Imagine being deep behind enemy lines during World War II, your rifle jammed, a boot sole ripped, or your canteen broken, and there's no toolbox, no multi-tool, no spare parts. Supplies were limited, and soldiers had to improvise with whatever was at hand. Yet amidst the chaos, a clever repair trick emerged that allowed troops to fix equipment, stay operational, and survive in extreme conditions. This technique was so effective that it remained a guarded secret for decades, buried in field manuals and whispered among veterans. Today, we're going to uncover this lost World War II repair method, explore why it worked, and see how modern enthusiasts and survivalists can apply the same principles in everyday life or wilderness scenarios. The core principle of this trick was resourcefulness. Soldiers were trained to look at every object not just for its intended use, but for its potential as a tool or repair material. A piece of wire could become a makeshift lock pin, a scrap of cloth could reinforce a boot, and even a bent spoon could serve as a lever. Observation and creativity were as essential as any hammer or screwdriver. In practice today, this teaches a critical survival lesson. Always evaluate your environment. Before assuming a problem is unsolvable, examine what you have on hand. Everyday items, paper clips, belt buckles, broken pens or shoelaces can become essential tools if you think in terms of function rather than form. One of the most common repair challenges in the field was fastening. Broken straps, torn packs, or loose equipment could cripple a soldier's mobility. World War II soldiers developed clever ways to create temporary fasteners using wire, string, or even small nails scavenged from their surroundings. They would twist wire into loops, knots, or hooks to hold parts together. Even tiny improvisations could restore full functionality. Today, anyone practicing bushcraft or prepping can use this approach. For example, if a backpack strap tears while hiking, you can loop wire, cord, or even strong thread to hold it in place. The principle is the same as the soldiers learned: secure functionality first, and perfect the fix later if needed. Soldiers weren't just improvising blindly. They knew the limits and strengths of the materials around them. Leather could be reinforced with strips of canvas. Metal could be bent or hammered into shape. Wood could be shaved to fit as a replacement handle. Understanding material properties allowed them to create fixes that were surprisingly durable under combat conditions. For modern application, this principle is invaluable. When repairing gear or tools in the field, choose substitutes based on flexibility, strength, and compatibility. A piece of hardwood can replace a broken handle, duct tape can stabilize a cracked surface, and leather can be layered to patch fabric, all using the same logic that kept soldiers operational during the war. Glue or epoxy wasn't always available, so soldiers developed alternative adhesives from natural sources or scavenged materials. Pitch, wax, or even boiled glue derived from animal hides could bind broken items together temporarily. These solutions weren't permanent, but they provided enough stability to keep gear functional for days or weeks. Today, improvised adhesives remain a key survival skill. Pine pitch, beeswax, or even resin can repair a split handle or seal a small leak. Understanding how to create temporary bonds is critical when tools and equipment are limited, echoing the resourcefulness of World War II soldiers. Time was often the enemy. Soldiers had to fix gear quickly to continue their mission. The World War II repair trick focused on speed, quick assessments, minimal materials, and solutions that could be implemented immediately. A boot could be tied with cord instead of waiting for stitching. A gun could be cleared and reassembled using only a bent pin, and a canteen could be sealed with pitch in minutes. The principle was clear: functional repair first, permanent repair later. For anyone in survival or emergency scenarios, this approach is essential. It's important to focus on solutions that restore immediate functionality. Don't aim for perfection in the field. Just restore basic operation and continue your task. Once safety or mobility is secured, you can refine the repair when you have time and materials. Perhaps the most impressive aspect of the World War II trick was that single improvised tools could serve multiple purposes. A piece of wire could hold a strap, act as a hook, or even be used to clean a weapon. Soldiers learned to maximize utility and minimize the items they carried, a principle of efficiency born out of necessity. Modern survivalists can adopt the same mindset. Carry items that have multiple functions and think creatively about how each object can be repurposed. For example, a sturdy stick can become a walking staff, a cooking support, or a fire starter with minimal modification. This multiplies your effectiveness without adding extra weight. The lost World War II trick for repairing anything without a multi-tool teaches us a timeless lesson. Resourcefulness, observation, and adaptability can overcome even the harshest challenges. Soldiers survived and continued their missions by improvising with everyday materials, understanding their properties, and applying quick, effective fixes. These principles are just as relevant today, whether you're in the wilderness, facing an emergency, or simply looking to develop practical skills. If you enjoyed this dive into forgotten wartime ingenuity, subscribe to Backyard Wisdom for more historical survival strategies and practical outdoor skills. Share this video with fellow history buffs and survival enthusiasts, because mastering the mindset of resourcefulness can make the difference between struggle and survival, just like it did for soldiers in World War II.